Channel 13, KTRK-TV Houston. We care about Texas. Now, Eyewitness News. With Bob Boudreaux, Minerva to Perez. Tim Melton has sports and the weather with Frank Billingsley. Now, Channel 13, Eyewitness News Tonight.
Just tearing all them houses up. Oh, look at that house. Look at that house right there. Look at it.
Please don't come this way.
Sure enough, that's just what did all this widespread damage all over Harris County. From shopping centers in the west to subdivisions in the east, nightfall disguises intense devastation. Good evening, everyone. Hundreds of Houstonians are without homes tonight, thousands of others without power after a series of twisters struck randomly around the Harris County area today.
It has been quite a day, and the emergency crews have been working since early this afternoon trying to help those who have been hardest hit.
East of Houston in Channelview, a huge path of destruction there was carved in the Wood Forest subdivision.
Let's go to Carlos Aguilar, who is in the subdivision now, where authorities have been searching for some children missing after the tornado tore through. Carlos, what's new?
Emergency personnel responded quickly out here after the tornadoes. They went house to house looking for tornado victims. Let me show you. As you can see here, just after the tornado, emergency personnel and area residents were scurrying around, trying to assess its impact.
I was holding the door because the pressure was so hard, it was blowing me from the door. But I held the door and I held my kids. In the tub, when I was going to climb in the tub, it blew away.
You hear it and you don't have time to run, you don't have time to think, you just grab your babies and hit the floor.
Somebody go on the backside of this house in Clifford, help them get the gas cut off. There's a fire on the backside. There's a fire on the backside?
Yeah.
Here, a firefighter is overcome by natural gas as emergency personnel tried to make the scene safe. Everywhere you looked, what was once a beautiful neighborhood was now rubble. People's houses exploded, their vehicles tossed like toys.
I don't know whether she's trapped and she can't move or something's on her back, but I can see she's trying to crawl. It's all right, Missy. It's okay, girl. It's okay.
Here, we helped a woman rescue her dog that was trapped.
It's okay, girl. It's okay. It's okay. Don't come through this way, Missy.
She's hung.
Is she okay?
Yeah, she's coming now.
Come on, baby.
This is another example of how destructive the tornadoes were that hit the Houston area. This used to be a two-story house, and this is where emergency personnel have concentrated a rescue operation all evening, trying to find the people that lived here.
We have a report of two girls and one lady being trapped in this house. They were here approximately 5 minutes before the storm hit, and they haven't been seen or heard from since by the neighbors.
No one was found under this rubble. Over 100 houses were hit. Many were left uninhabitable, leaving homeowners only with the things they could carry out.
I'm looking for my husband. I don't know where he at.
Hey, you got a phone? Was he in the house with you? Listen.
No, he wasn't. He's working, but my house is gone.
The preliminary searches have ended for any possible tornado victims, and folks are being allowed back into their homes, but they're just looking at the destruction, shaking their heads, and walking away, saying they'll come back tomorrow, and so will we. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you, Carlos.
No doubt it's going to take a long time for people to rebuild.
Yes, and daylight will reveal certainly a lot more. And they were gyrating throughout the viewing area today, those twisters were putting fear and respect into the hearts of all who saw them dancing from the clouds. This home video from a resident near Kellywood captured one of the twisters as it tore its way through part of the subdivision. Michael Wilson shot this video from inside his home as he watched the terror of nature's most ferocious force unleashed in his backyard. Wilson was lucky because this sinister funnel missed his own home, but as you saw, some of the neighbors were not nearly as fortunate. For them, this is a day where the unspoken fear of falling victim to the indiscriminate mayhem of nature on a rampage became a reality.
That tornado captured on tape hit with a vengeance, ripping a path of destruction through much of the western part of Harris County. Our Cynthia Cisneros was on the scene and reports on the aftermath.
The force of the tornado ripped through this library on Clay Road, and this is what's left of John MIHALICK's car. He was returning some books with his 5-year-old daughter when he got caught in the violent, swirling wind.
So I ran out and flung the door open and jumped on top of her and survived it through. She's all right. She's fine. There's not a scratch.
Oscar Morin was inside doing a book report when the tornado hit.
Everybody was running, diving under, and the building was shaking a lot, and everybody was like freaked. And then, and then right there where the roof was, where the counter is, the whole thing caved in. Oh my God! Oh my God!
For some, the devastation was too much. Signs of destruction were everywhere along Clay Road. The wind was so violent it blew the bricks off several buildings. Huge trees were uprooted and blown about like toothpicks. A nearby apartment complex was hard hit, leaving dozens of families without homes. At the corner convenience store, a quick-thinking clerk shoved customers into the cooler for safety.
There's a couple young ladies that wouldn't move. They were just scared to death, so I pushed them behind the counter and then ducked behind the ice cream coffin myself.
Those who ducked for cover now come out and face an enormous cleanup task. The Red Cross remains busy loading trucks to go to the hardest hit areas. We're at the intersection of Highway 6 and Clay Road, normally a very well-lit intersection, that is, except for tonight. Police are having to direct traffic because the lights are out all along this area. No word yet, though, on when any lights will be turned back on tonight. Cynthia, Cisneros 13, Eyewitness News.
Disbelief mixed with destruction has taken over in other parts of our city where that storm moved through, taking out huge homes with very little effort.
Chris Adams joins us live from the Kellywood subdivision with the latest on the damage there. Chris?
Well, this subdivision and 3 nearby subdivisions were ravaged by the storm. I want to show you some of the incredible force that was involved here. For example, this truck was picked up and tossed on its side like a paper cup. And the once beautiful home you see behind me, well, it may be a complete loss. Right now, tonight, people in this subdivision are trying to put their lives back together. In this upper middle class subdivision of $200,000 and $300,000 homes, the destruction you see took only an instant.
Everything was just coming in. The pictures are flying horizontal. The glass was coming in through horizontal. And then it was over.
Dozens of residents with homes too badly damaged to sleep in are busy seeking shelter.
We put everything in boxes as best we could and have hauled it off. We rented a house in the neighborhood. Fortunately, there was one available. And so we'll have the kids in school, hopefully Monday morning, as normal as we possibly can.
At this Red Cross shelter nearby, only one family stays.
Just one, because most of the time the people have the financial support to go to a hotel in the area because those hotels were not damaged.
Plywood already blocks many of the broken windows here, and some homeowners have called contractors and begun the tough job of rebuilding.
There's a lot of structural damage involved in these houses. It's not cosmetic, it's structural.
So far, at least 8 people have been sent to the hospital because of injuries related to the storm. More than 150 homes have been damaged. There will need to be a lot of rebuilding here. Bob, Minerva?
Well, besides destruction, let me throw an ugly word at you. Looting. What about possibility of protecting against that?
I've been here most of the evening. I haven't heard any reports of looting. However, officers have begun to move into this area. They say they will be here throughout the night. That's clearly a concern for many.
All right, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Well, the communities just east of downtown Houston got their share of the tornado's destruction as well today. Homes and buildings near the General Foods plant virtually torn apart by the whirling winds, and not many structures withstood the devastation as power lines and debris littered the area.
The trees and big pieces of tin and plywood were twirling in the air, and so we just hit the deck.
Oh, a lot of people did today. This elderly couple east of Houston escaped with minor injuries when the roof of their home was ripped completely off, and a Metro bus was bombarded with bricks when the heavy winds hit. Fortunately, no injuries reported there, no major ones anyway. And in the medical center area, crews worked to clean debris from an overturned tractor trailer, a mobile home, and the cleanup of some of the trees.
And when we come back, another disaster, this one in England. We'll look at the aftermath of the Windsor Castle blaze.
And on the better side of the news, the mayor heads home from the hospital. We'll have the latest on Mayor Bob when we come back.